Yeah, from the commodities of energy and precious metals to a commodity that is dear to many of us. Coffee. But as we well know, what with supply chains as they are being increasingly unpredictable across the region and further afield, it seems that being locally based and founded is proving a major competitive advantage. That's certainly the findings of Coffee Planet, a company that well illustrates this benefit. Why? Because Coffee Planet delivering 21 million cups monthly from its 26,000 square foot Jebel Ali facility, 5,000 tons annual capacity, while managing over 8,000 coffee machines across the UAE. What's that all resulted in? 19% revenue growth last year after 2 decades of building a local homegrown brand that has become something of a GCC powerhouse and certainly powering many other individuals here in the region. Right, let's get more analysis on this now because we've got the founder and chairman, no less, of Coffee Planet in studio with us this morning, Alan Jones. Alan, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Let's just get into those numbers if we can, Alan, because 21 million cups a month, 19% revenue growth for last year. I mean, business on paper at the moment looks very, very good after, over 2 decades of doing business here. But what's it look like compared to 6 weeks ago when the conflict started?
Well, we had a fantastic year end in December 2025. January was very good. More better than expected. February, the same trend was upwards. March, a bit different. Obviously, downturn. We're seeing a bit of a shift in the priorities of where we're supplying coffee into. Our roasting numbers are going up. Obviously, hotels suffering because of the lack of customers. People have left. The downturn in the market in the hotel in Horeca is pretty evident. But we are very much in a position where we've made the adjustments and we'll continue to grow. We've secured our supply chain right through until the end of July. And obviously we're looking at other opportunities to acquire green beans, which is the foundation of the business, obviously, and the extent to which you've mentioned about the number of the size of the business in Jebel Ali, the roasting business. So the emphasis these days is more on roasting and how we supply other people in the marketplace, in the sense that it's going to be difficult for international brands to get their product to market, and we are here. So, we're ready to help whenever we can. We've got plenty of finished product. We've got plenty of green beans.
Let's talk about the facility. Huge investment into that roasting facility in previous years. You've built up a real powerhouse there at the moment. And again, that is paying forward. That's paying dividends at the moment because you're not that reliant on getting them in. You've got a lot in-house here. Is that gap sort of showing real-term results at the moment in terms of having things here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the benefits that we're seeing now, is that, we're in a position where we can maintain our supplies to our customers. And our roasting numbers are going through the roof again because there's a lot of demand. Believe it or not, even in these difficult times, there's a lot of demand for our products.
One thing that we've noticed here, Alan, and I don't know whether you can concur with this or not, but we're seeing a sort of demand for locally produced and sourced products. The demand is going up. There's an element of, yes, they're more readily available, but also the sort of made in the UAE, made in Dubai sort of tag. Is that something you're seeing?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question of that. I mean, we've obviously had a bit of an issue with the C price, with the commodity price. You mentioned it earlier about commodities. Well, we're very much attached to that. We're always watching, what the C price is. And again, we've had to make the adjustments along the way when prices are rocketing. And they are climbing. They climbed very, very highly last year, end of last year. They're now coming down, which is making us, I think, more competitive now. I think we've got a competitive edge because of the way that the C price has come down. It's now in our favor.
It's one thing getting the beans here, obviously the roasting side of things. Then, of course, it's day-to-day business. Over 8,000 machines across the UAE. Now, that's quite the operational undertaking. In terms of keeping them operational, keeping them loaded, up and running during these testing times. Has that been tested over the last 6 weeks?
No, not really. I mean, we've got a large facility here, workshops, people on the road. So, I mean, we've got coffee professionals who are always on the job, always maintaining the quality, which has become very important to us. And we are growing that side of the business as well. From a maintenance point of view, we offer maintenance contracts. So we're always very busy in that respect.
Talking about growing the company, I'm just looking at the numbers. 10.7% compound annual growth over the last decade. What's driving the growth at the moment?
Me. If I've got to put it, simply, I mean, that's my ambition, is to drive the growth. That's my role in the business.
Taking the big decisions, Alan.
It is. Yeah. There's nobody else, is there?
Yeah.
When you're the 100% shareholder and you're the decision maker, I think things stand and fall by the decisions that I make largely. We've got a fantastic team around us.
So let's talk about those decisions, because again, your decision will be tested over the last 6 weeks. We know that you'd mentioned expansion regionally. Saudi Arabia is obviously on the horizon for you. Are you still going ahead with those expansion plans?
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've got measures in place where we can toll roast in Saudi at the moment. We're looking to acquire a roaster. We've always had distributors there. We've got franchise partners there, and the opportunities are enormous. So it's been a step that we've taken too long to take, but now is the time, I think, to move into Saudi in a big way. So that's on the agenda. I think the first half of this year we'll see the results, because we are opening more coffee shops there. So it's getting the brand value of the brand name out there, and that flows into the supermarkets and the hotels and so on and so forth. I don't think Saudi is suffering in the same way that things are in Dubai here with tourism. It doesn't really rely on tourism, so the HoReCa market hasn't suffered as much as the market has in Dubai. So we're looking that way now to grow the business in 2026.
To that end, and to your honesty about, the decisions that you're putting in place and the growth that you're eyeing there, we're 20 years in. You started out with one machine when you arrived here in the early 2000s, Alan. You've turned it into a powerhouse here in the region. What is the outlook for, and to ask you personally, what's your sort of personal take on the business outlook moving forward at the moment for the region?
Well, I think it's positive. I mean, it's difficult during these times, obviously with the conflict and supply chain and so on and so forth, but I've got a lot of confidence in the government in Dubai. I think, the way that they go about doing business is very favorable to us, and I think the opportunities are here. And I hate to say this, but out of a conflict, sometimes opportunities arise. And I think that's a distinct possibility once the conflict is over. And it will end, it has to end. And I think we're well placed in the market to launch yet again to a different level. And that's the plan, really. It's not wait and see. It's us getting on with it now, and it's business as usual.
Coffee Planet here in another 20 years?
Yes, I would say so. Maybe even not me at the helm first.
Well, never say never. Never say never.
Quite.
That's for sure. Still making decisions those years up. Alan, really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in and being so honest with us as well. So thanks for all your time. Thanks for also perking up our mornings across the UAE for over 20 years. Founder and chairman of Coffee Planet there, Alan Jones, joining us live here in the studio.